Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Yo ho ho, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Dom Mafia Report. That is right, my ADHD got the best of me. This morning while I was looking at updates on the Jackson Mahomes case, and then also a recent article about Henry Ruggs, and even the Joe Mixon situation, I decided that I was curious to find out of all the teams in the NFL, who has the most arrested players in history? So I decided to make a top 10 list of all of the teams that have racked up the most player arrests across their franchise history. The biggest part of this video is hands down the fact that some of the teams that you would think would be on this top 10 list are not, and some teams that you would never think they would sniff this top 10 list, there they are. Say that you're new here, my name is Dan Mitchell. I regularly put out videos about the NFL and the Buffalo Bills. If that's your cup of tea, I highly recommend subscribing to this channel, and as always, smashing the ever-living out of that like button. Hopping right into it, the Miami Dolphins take the number 10 spot at 34 total arrests since the year of 2000. Now, this can't come to a surprise to anybody. This team is located in Miami, Florida. This city is nothing but a cesspool of partygoers, illegal narcotics, and a bunch of promiscuous 20-somethings running around. So if you were to think that you could successfully live in Miami for more than 6 months without running into the law at least once, you're out of your mind. In fact, I feel that the vast majority of us watching this video would be dead by the age of 35. But absolute wild town. Frankly, I thought they would be higher on this list. But most notable arrests probably had to come back in 2021, when Mark Walton, a former Miami Dolphins player, was arrested after a fit of rage over Pizza Hut service. Yes, a fit of rage was caused by Pizza Hut service. Outside of that, there's always your occasional Deweys for Miami Dolphins players, either current or former, and then some assault charges here and there. But Miami, you're sitting firmly at number 10. Number 9 is the Indianapolis Colts with 36 recorded arrests. Now, this team was probably the biggest surprise of mine being in the top 10, because when I look at Indianapolis, it doesn't necessarily come off as a crime hub of the country. In fact, I was even more surprised of the fact that is there even enough to do in the state of Indiana that warrants you to leave your house, let alone get in trouble by law enforcement? Now, I could be wrong. I'm not from that city, haven't lived there, but the fact that this happened was absolutely wild. Most notably was defensive lineman David Perry, where allegedly he got pissed drunk, stole somebody's golf cart, hit the person that he stole the golf cart from, and then crashed that said golf cart. This dude was just out there raging. Nothing else we could possibly do. Next up, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers secure the 8th spot with 37 arrests. Now, Tampa Bay probably shouldn't come as a surprise. I mean, they did employ Antonio Brown at one point. In fact, I would say he would have to be the most notable poster child of some of these arrests. I mean, we've heard of him throwing mattresses off of balconies. We've heard of him not paying delivery drivers, borderline assaulting them. I mean, honestly, who were to think? Also, fun fact, this is the second team in Florida on the top 10 list. Are you surprised? I am not. Number 7 is the Tennessee Titans, bringing in about 38 arrests since the year of 2000. And this one, I shouldn't have been as surprised as I was. I mean, when you go to Nashville, Tennessee, it is literally the bachelorette capital of the world. I'm talking a bunch of drunk thotties walking around, having a good time, a bunch of temptation for some very rich and successful young 20-somethings that just so happen to play for the NFL, just to go out and peacock, baby. Just peacock, flex their shit, hopefully get lucky with a bachelorette party, who knows? And so I could easily see somebody getting behind the wheel of their Ferrari and attempting to bring somebody back, but watch out, DUI, watch out, you just hit a grandma just trying to get some food from a food truck. I could see it happening. The environment is very close to Miami, only more of like a country music feel, if you will. His most notable arrest was actually their offensive coordinator just last year, Todd Downing, for getting, a DUI after the Titans' victory on Thursday Night Football. Dude took the party to a whole new level. Was he getting sauce in a locker room, or did he take it down to Broadway Street? We don't know the full details on this, but he was eventually fired for this. Number 6 on the list is the Jacksonville Jaguars. Yes, I know, all 3 Florida teams are in the top 10 of this list. Not a surprise there whatsoever. But being in Jacksonville, fun fact, it is actually the largest city by square mile in the entire country, so there's a lot of room to run in with the popo, baby. The most recent arrest was Jacksonville Jaguars cornerback Chris Claybrooks, where he ended up getting arrested for minor vandalism under $1,000 and also assault and battery. Now, as far as any specifics of this case, more than likely somebody was just chirping him at a bar or out in public, and then sounds like Claybrooks broke his phone and then punched him in the face. Obviously, don't be disrespecting Claybrooks like that, my guy. But overall, the Jacksonville Jaguars have a total of 39 arrests since 2000. Oh no, Dan, not another ad read. Trust me, you are going to thank me for this. Now, as many of you know, I work extremely long hours, 7 a.m. until I about pass out at 11 or midnight Monday through Friday, and you would think that I would be able to go to sleep and rejuvenate. You're absolutely wrong. My mind is still going a million miles a second, and for the most part, I'm staring at my ceiling until 3 a.m. Now, that is something that I have accepted for myself, but I needed to make a change. I needed to start taking naps, but once again, I can't nap either. Whether or not that it's my FOMO, or whether or not that I just can't get comfortable enough, or it's too bright, I have had no such luck until I ended up finding the Manta sleep mask. Now, little do you know, Manta truly believes sleep needs to be the #1 priority in order to achieve that particular level of success. Now, these things are ridiculously comfortable, and literally the second that you put it on, you feel like you're right next to Aaron Rodgers during one of his darkness retreats. I mean, look at this. Literally can't see so you know what? I should probably apply to officiate in the NFL. Prerequisites right here. Now, Manta has several selections on their website. This particular is the Sleep Mask Pro. This company and this mask has really been able to help me prioritize what is most important, and that is my sleep, so I can keep on giving you that juicy content, baby. So whatever you're doing, go to that link in my bio and make sure you put in the code DONMAFIA, and they're gonna give you an extra 10% off your first order. Trust me, you will not regret this. Night night, bitches. Number 5, the Cleveland Browns, sitting at 39 arrests since 2000, and I feel like a lot of us really can't be surprised. I mean, Deshaun Watson is your quarterback. He had over 150 lawsuits. That's super huge embellishment right there, but you understand where I'm coming from. They have Josh Gordon. Come on, dude. Dude could not put down the devil's lettuce to save his life. While I was feeling pretty lazy and didn't want to see if he got arrested while he was at the Browns, I did find that he was arrested in college, passed out in a car at Taco Bell. Dude, just steady chiefing. Number 4 is the Kansas City Chiefs with a whopping 40 arrests. Looks like their accolades are not limited to Super Bowls, that is for sure. Now, most notable is obviously the Jackson Mahomes issue, although he's not a part of the team, especially after he was seen going a little too far in the flirting category. But then you also have Tyreek Hill, who's had his issues with abusing minors. Yo, I'm editing this video right now, and how the f*** did I forget about the guy that robbed the bank? And the Kansas City Chiefs lockdown number 4. Number 3, the Cincinnati Bengals. And let me tell you what, there is a massive jump off from number 4 to number 3. The Cincinnati Bengals have 10 more arrests in total, opposed to the Kansas City Chiefs, sitting at 50 arrests for the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, I mean, most notably, I'm thinking about Joe Mixon at this point. So you're telling me that a team that employed Vontaze Burfict was going to be bottom 5 in the league for overall arrests? Just look at the way that that team plays, baby. The Cincinnati Bengals locking in number 3. Number 2 is the Denver Broncos, sitting at 54 arrests since 2000. Now, it's interesting because everybody I know that lives in Denver says that they are wildly frustrated that the man-to-woman ratio is very skewed. A lot more dudes. In fact, they call it menver. So the way that I'm looking at it, I think it makes a little bit of sense because I think of it like as prison, right? So many dudes, not enough women. Obviously, the testosterone is through the damn roof. You're angry. Way too many dudes. It's gonna cause you to commit some crimes, baby. As now you would think that since they did legalize cannabis, that maybe it would chill them out a little bit, but as far as the Denver Broncos are concerned, they're holding the number 2 spot. Now it comes down to number 1. And no, it is not the Raiders. A lot of people are thinking the Raiders were on this list. Fun fact, the Raiders are actually one of the more well-behaved teams in this league, where they only have 25 arrests since 2000. I know, pat on the back. Pat on the back. That stigma has been attached to them for years, but they're sitting there holding down the 22 spot. Not even anywhere close to the top 20. But the number 1 team with the most arrested players is the Minnesota Vikings. It makes a lot of sense. That place is a frozen tundra. I'm from Buffalo, New York, right? So I know what a frozen tundra is like, but I imagine Minneapolis, Minnesota in general, just being a barren wasteland for about 9 to 10 months out of the year. So that's going to cause some cabin fever. That's going to cause you to do some crazy shit. The most recent arrest that I could see is a Minnesota Vikings offensive lineman. Ollie Udo was arrested at a nightclub in Miami for resisting arrest. For all I know, the police were simply just blue balling him, or they were chopping up his game. He was trying to peacock against them, big man a cop, and it went in a wrong direction. But there are 54 more where that came from, ladies and gentlemen. So there it is. In case you were ever wondering who is the most ill-behaved NFL franchise in the league, I just gave you the top 10. And so next time one of your team's players gets arrested, just keep a mental break and see whether or not that your team has a shot at being the #1 most overall arrested team in the NFL. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I really appreciate it. And so make sure you subscribe to this channel for more content like this video, of course. And before I let you go, you better always remember, let's go Buffalo.